beginning was the One presence of the undivided and unmanifest pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us. The creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this in our companion, Mother Earth, and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of the Christ presence expressing in, as, and through us in this present moment now. It is the truth. Let us own it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Unity. My name is Dyann Castro-Wehr, and I'm the service assistant today. Today, Frank is our minister, and he'll be giving the talk today, and that is titled, Deep Peace, Our Abundance. And we'd love to welcome our music ministry with special music today by Heartdream. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome. And we'd also like to extend our gratitude and joy that Kate and Marcia are here with us today as well. We get a double whammy in music today. Okay. I'd like to remind us of our mission here at Unity of Bellingham. We are a joyful, evolving spiritual community committed to spiritual practices, compassionate service, and living on purpose. This is our mission.
Away in a manger, no crib for a bed, the little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the heavens looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
As we prepare for our time of reflection, I invite you to find a comfortable place in your chair and close your eyes if you are comfortable with that. Taking a few deep cleansing breaths, let's pause for an affirmative prayer for the people and situations that are speaking to our hearts right now. We have a number of congregants among us who would welcome a loving prayer just to be wrapped around in this circle of love and care that we have within our community. Let's presence them right now. I invite you to speak the names of people you are praying for out loud or hold them quietly in your heart. Joining together, we collectively affirm the presence of God in all situations and all people. We hold a vision for the highest outcome with faith in the continual presence and unfolding of love in life. Returning to our breath, let's dip into the silence to be refreshed and renewed. If only for just a few moments, we quiet our minds and attend to our breath. When we do this, we can experience a homecoming. We're reminded that we can do this anytime throughout our day. We can come home. Welcome. We greet the sacred within. Coming back to the room with a few deep breaths. We'll hear a reading today from the Daily Word, and our word for the day is prosperity. Please join me in saying the affirmation, I have everything I need. I have everything I need. God, the one presence and power, is infinite and without limitation. So it follows that God's abundance is boundless. I keep that in mind when my supply seems limited and I worry about having enough of what I need. As a spiritual being, I have access to divine ideas. I claim these ideas in prayer and trust as they grow in my consciousness. I will see evidence of them in my life. Whether I'm in meditation or going about my daily tasks, I keep my heart centered on that which is flourishing. Expansion and abundance are the nature of God. It is not necessary to know how or from where my abundance will come. With gratitude, I step forward to claim my many blessings. So we'll say the affirmation again. I have everything I need, and so it is.
Boy, I need to sit with that one for a minute. So a lot of those words, they kind of like, did you read my talk before I came? The wisdom that flows, that comes to us and then flows, I think you said, it just comes to us and then flows. And then it turns out we had it all along. It just comes to us because it is us, because the divine energy is always there present to us. It's always available to us. The potential of that wisdom, that truth, that love, that everything, that all abundance is always available to us. And then it comes, and what does it do? It flows. Of course it flows. Where else is it going to go? Oh, we can hold on to it. Yeah. But, the word affluence is a word that means it's coming to us in a flow. You want to be affluent? We just let it come, and then we let it flow. Yeah, thank you. So this is our beautiful Advent wreath. And I want to just summarize something we did last week, because we started with the first candle, which is for faith, and now we get to light another one. When I was a kid, I couldn't wait, as the candles got closer. You knew it was Christmas, right? And that was when I was a little kid. And then when I got older, I was going, oh gosh, Christmas shopping. There's only 2 candles left. It changes. Now I'm back to how I was when I was 7. Oh, good, Christmas is coming. Forget that. And the first candle we lit was for faith. And we talked about, this is just a few second summary of last week, because some of you weren't here. And we talked about the law of faith. Or you could say the principle of faith, or the story of faith, or the truth, whichever word makes more sense to you. But the idea is that faith is an ever-present, eternal, a principle law that works, and it works, and it works, and it always works, and it can't not work. And Charles Fillmore talked about the law of faith as this, he talked about it as, how did he say it? The perceiving power of the mind that's linked to the power to shape substance, which is really, rich. There's a little thing I've heard since that time that's sort of the same thing as thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Yeah, very, very similar kind of notion. Or we said it, and Dyann said it very slowly, the third principle, I am creating my experience by how I choose to think. And if I would expand that a little bit, I'm creating my life experience, what shows up, what flows through, how I show up, and this total experience. And it says, sometimes people say, do I change reality, the outer reality? Well, sometimes that happens too, because what I'm experiencing, what I'm choosing to hold in mind, shapes how I show up, and everything I have some kind of influence over, now I'm shaping the very physical substance. But substance, it's a beautiful word that the Fillmores use. We shape substance, which means we can shape thoughts, feelings, experiences, emotions. We can shape our internal world, which then in turn ends up reshaping our external world itself. Thoughts in mind produce after the kind. I am, by my thoughts, changing my actual experience. I change my experience by how I think and believe and choose to hold on to things or choose not to let things go. Yeah. And so now we're in the second week. And I'm loving this idea of these 4 words, which are faith, first week, and now peace, second week, and then love, and then we end on joy on Christmas Eve. So Advent ends and the Christmas Eve starts on kind of the same day, which is fun. And I was thinking this idea of a law of peace. But what I recognized, and I think want to share with you today, is there is a great peace that comes when we obey what we've been talking about, when we align ourselves, when we are in harmony with the laws of transformation, the laws of transforming love. It's all about the third candle. It's all about love here. When we align with the very Christ candle, that Christ energy, that love energy, the powers of the Christ, and we align ourselves with those eternal energies, they're always true and they always work. And here's the interesting thing about aligning ourselves with principles and knowing how they always work. Because there's and we talked last week, I love this one. People said for a long time, you throw wood in the water, it floats. You throw a nail in the water, it sinks. Therefore, you got to build a boat out of wood. And then what we realized was, well, wait, it doesn't matter what you build the boat out of. What matters is you follow the laws of buoyancy. So you can make a boat out of anything you want. We have ginormous boats that sail the sea made all of metal, filled to the top with containers, those big loading containers, and they sail all over the world, and they float, and they're made of metal. Because we're deceived sometimes. We look at things, and it doesn't work that way. If it's wood, it floats, so you build boats out of wood. We get deceived from our perceptions, but what we have to tie into is the laws that work. And then we experience those laws that work. So, and by the way, we don't invent these laws, right? We invent boats and different kind of boats, but we invent boats that align with the law of buoyancy. We didn't invent the laws of aviation and lift and drag. We discovered the laws that always work, so we make airplanes that follow the law, and they fly. Hopefully every time. If we obey the rule, right, they will fly every time. And so the law of faith, it works. And we feel this sense of faith that says, I have faith, meaning I'm going to use my mind and change the perception of my mind because I have full control over what I'm choosing to believe, to hold on to think, how I'm going to show up. That's my decision. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, I can't have faith that what I'm going to think is going to outpicture in any way, and I'm going to change my experience because those people are really making me mad. So it's not. It's an internal thing. It's our choice. What I hold in my mind changes my experience. And there's a corporateness to it. What we choose as a community, what we choose in the church, what we choose as a body to hold on in big mind, outpictures differently in the world. So here's the law for today with peace. Here's a law I want to share with you that brings a great amount of peace and clarity and almost, I think, relief. And it's called, here's another divine law of transformation. It's called the law of circulation. I'm just going to let you know what the law of circulation is. I'll give you an example because it's the easiest way. The circulation basically says I have, I give, then I receive. There's three things. You start with have. This is important. We start with have, and then I give, and I receive. I have, I give, and here it comes. Oh, now I have, so I give. Oh, well, here it comes. Oh, now I have. Here it comes. And you can get going pretty fast on this. And it can be bigger and bigger. It can be large. What's the capacity for abundance? And by the way, we're not creating abundance. I'm going to do something to create more abundance in my life. No, it's like the law of flotation. It's there. The abundance is there. We're like building boats. We just have to create containers and systems and airplanes and ways that we can align ourselves with the truth, this law, this principle of abundance that exists. I am abundant. What was the thing we saw? What's the word? I am prosperity. I have everything I need. I am abundant. We've already got it. I have, I give, and then I receive. Here's the law of circulation. It's a circuit. It's a currency. It's a current. What do we call money? Currency. It's a current, and it works when it flows. Here's the law. It works when it flows. So I wanted to, not only is this the advent of peace, many of you may have seen a card come in your mail and a Christmas letter, and I don't know if you haven't seen it, it's coming. If you don't know what I'm talking about, see me, we have extras. But instead of me talking about it first, I want to invite a couple of our board members, Greg and Malin, if you'd be welcome to come up, because they want to say a little bit about this law of circulation and standing in the truth of our abundance. Maybe both of you guys can take one of the seats.
Hi. I want to talk about giving and receiving. I'd like to talk about giving and receiving. I grew up in a family of 8. My 5 siblings and I were taught money doesn't grow on trees. We didn't go out to dinner or on fancy vacations. Mom clipped coupons and added too much oatmeal to her meatloaf, trying to feed all of us. But my needs were met. When I was in high school, my dad lost his job a few weeks before Christmas. He worked in his dark room to create a photograph for each of us, sharing his time and his talent. I remember him saying, "I know it's not what you wanted, but it's all I can give at the time." I know it's okay. I don't remember what I wanted, but I'll never forget how my heart swelled when I unwrapped the 8.5 by 11 framed photograph of my favorite climbing tree. My dad used his talent to make a Christmas that could have been about loss into one that showed his children that he saw each of us. That Christmas stands out more than any of the others for me. My plans to attend university changed that year. I ended up going to the community college and later transferring to Humboldt State University. Taking out student loans and working part-time, I guess I gave 10% in interest to follow my dreams. I became a teacher, but in the Bay Area, teaching didn't pay well. I could barely make ends meet. After 10 years of saving, I bought a 20-year-old condo. The first weekend I was in my new condo, the plumbing backed up and the refrigerator gave out. I had used everything I had to purchase that condo and anxiously called friends and family to help. They came through for me in joyous giving. That was the first time I felt the universal flow. I also realized that I was not living in that flow. I pushed forward with a tight grip, working extra jobs and holding on to every dime. When I first attended Unity, I took the Keys to the Kingdom class and started tithing, not just with my money, but also with my time and talent. Giving time is easier now that I'm retired, and giving talent is just sharing what I love to do, and how fun is that? So looking back, I was nervous at first. I didn't have a lot of money to spare, but I gave, taking a deep leap of faith. I didn't know that leap would change more than how I looked at my finances. It has given me peace beyond my understanding, knowing that I live in a loving and abundant universe, that the divine wants only good and more good for me. Last year, my dog Hope ended up very sick, and the vet bills were high. I could feel the concern sneaking and disturbing my peace of mind. But I caught myself. I got quiet, and I said the offertory blessing, divine love through me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. The next day, I was asked to sub for a couple of days a week for a few weeks. The amount I received covered the cost of Hope's care and then some. I have witnessed the tithing of time, talent, and treasure in our spiritual community here at Unity. Our new roof and our sewer system were made possible by the sharing of treasure. So many of the repairs to our building have been made by the giving of time and talent of our congregation. I have been spiritually fed through our beautiful community, classes, and inspired by the Sunday talks. I know my thinking has changed, and my heart feels full because Divine Mother, Father, God is supporting me, and looking back, always has. It may not have looked the way I thought best, but it was always for my highest good. So I filled out my pledge card. I filled it out, and I'm looking for my place. Knowing that this pledge goes forward to continue the good work that Unity of Bellingham does. And don't forget, if you'll receive a refrigerator magnet. Let's see if I can hold it up right. If you set up an automatic giving. So.
Oh, Malin's a hard act to follow. I start every day by saying thank you. You know, I'm very fortunate. I grew up in a family that had a culture of sharing and giving. It took me a long time in my life to really figure out what that really meant and how important it was. Since I've been here at Unity, I have come to see that the collective good, the spirit, the faith, the energy of this group, this place, is so important. In my life, it's had profound and meaningful focus for me. Throughout my life with my family, we have seen all of the ups and downs that life throws at you. But the one constant, and I can absolutely tell you with certainty that my life would not be as it is and as good as it is if it wasn't for the fact that we have the faith and support of all of the people around us. Being able to do this stuff means that we have to be able to support it. We have to be able to fund it. We have to be able to serve it. But we have to be able to do it, and that's a collective responsibility. Pledge cards are important. Making sure that we have the ability to maintain and support this organization is important. But it's real. For everything that I give, I get back tenfold, without fail.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks, Malin. Yeah, I've been throwing a check in, and then she showed me her little Unity Lotus, and I went like right then and got online and put in my credit card, and I'm an automatic thing now. I'm going to be first in line for that magnet. They're beautiful. There's a practical thing I want to talk about, but I want to just follow up a little bit on this law of circulation. And you can do a little experiment to see, what we're talking about and kind of this experience that Malin and Greg just shared. So take a deep breath. Okay, you have it. We can do this for a while. You know where this is going. Eventually, you're going to want to let it go. And then, here it comes. You got it? Let it go. This law of circulation that we're talking about it's baked into all of nature and all of life and all that is. Your heart takes in the air, it enriches the blood goes out, here it comes back, it takes in some more air, the blood goes out here. Our bodies, our lives, all the elements of a creek flows to a lake. The lake then just grows all sorts of critters, and the lake flows out into a waterfall, and salmon are jumping back up. It comes in, it comes the lake, and there it goes downstream, and then here it comes from upstream, and it keeps going around and around, and a beautiful lake has all this life, but then stop the flow in or plug up the flow out. And all of a sudden things get stagnant, and then there's a swamp, and then there's algae, and things start to die. And it isn't the same vibrant system. You can see these laws, this law of circulation in play in so many ways. But there's some things to be careful of. Because in each way, we always start with what we have. So what we have can get blocked. and what we let go of and give and turn out, that can get blocked. And what comes in can get blocked. In all three of these areas, there's blockages. We have to be careful. What comes in, it's like, I would never block what comes in. If it's going to come to me, I'm going to be happy. Boy, you look nice today. Me? No, this is just, it's an old shirt. I don't look. What do you say? Thank you. I feel good. Now I got it. Now I can give it, We block the flow coming into us in all sorts of ways. I'm not worth it. Oh, yeah, that's too good to be true. That's not going to happen for me. We're constantly throwing up, potentially, at times we throw up roadblocks to the flow in. Let it flow. Let it come. Invite it in. Stand open and allow what's coming to come. In the area of I have, we say, yeah, well, I would do more if I would give more time if I had more time. Okay, so here's an exercise. And I did this last night because, I was thinking of this exercise, so I just went through it. They say do it in your journal. I was just typing on the computer. Four columns or 4 pages or 4 whatever you want. And the first one is, what do I have? What do I have? So I started typing. I'm just sitting in the living room. I have a Christmas tree. Oh, and I have those bird ornaments. Oh, and I have these nice lights. Oh, those were great drapes that Dyann made. And then I have, we got the new fireplace. And look at this stuff on the fireplace. And then, I didn't get out of the living room and I filled the page. We have a lot. And not only what do we have, what do we have access to? I mean, Bellingham Library, full stop. I have used so much Bellingham Library. I have access to one of the best libraries. What I have, just recognizing the fullness of the have. What talents do I have? What gifts do I have? There's another column. What successes have I had in my life? Or try this one. And Greg mentioned this. This is a great column to see, do I have? Start a page of what am I grateful for? Because everything in that column is something that's in my life. Look at the partnership I have, the community I have, the friendships I have, the friend groups I have, the pickleball courts that we have in Bellingham. I'm grateful for all of it. Look at what we have. And then all of a sudden this have column starts getting, look at what's in savings. Doesn't matter what it is. Is there something there? Is there something in the checking? Do I have a long-term savings? Is there flow? Is there different levels of finances coming to me? I mean, how grateful, and because there's a place where some people are not seemingly in the flow. I mean, it's always there. But for various reasons aren't really in the same flow. And the flow going out. Sometimes when it comes to material goods, to time, to talent, to treasure, the things the world wants, the things the world need, it's part of just allowing them to flow out. I have this art. I made it. Well, we can fill our houses with the art, and I did a lot of my Christmas shopping at Malin's Art Festival, in our house, I just let that flow out. Well, look what I did, and let it all go. Get the feedback. Time to make some more. Here it comes again. New ideas. I have more, and we let it flow. I mean, what artist just makes art and just fills up their house? It's all about just letting this beautiful flow. And it works not only for individuals, it works for the community. We did the food bank, right? And we've got, how many pounds was in there, Dyann? 80 pounds, I think you said, or something like that? We had to measure, okay, maybe 100 pounds of food. Thank you, gratitude, community. We had 100 pounds of food, more or less, sitting out in the foyer. So Dyann says, I know, I'm going to take it, let me take it to the food bank and then we'll get some more. So on our way to the food bank, the sewing store has a sale. So she pulls into the parking lot and goes into this, because, she's got to make quilts. And a big holiday thing, they're giving away holiday gifts. And she walks in, she's doing her shopping, a big sign, right, at the sewing back. We match all food donations to the food bank. So she finds the manager and goes, Unity of Bellingham's got about 80, 100 pounds of food in my trunk. And he goes, bring it in, we'll double it. Bring it in, we'll double it. Yeah, community. We have it, we send it out. Here comes more. We have it. We send it out. I mean, this is living in the flow. And I imagine for all of us to tell a story, we could repeat some similar stories. So here's some homework for you, because I think it was really amazing what I did, so I'll suggest it to you. Sit down if you're journalers, and just write down the top. What do I have? It starts with have. It starts with have. We get stuck sometimes. Yeah, I'd be more of a giver of my time or my talent or my treasure if I started getting more. But you don't start with receive, you start with what do I have? Because we have control over that, and that's a beautiful starting point to get the circuit running, the current going, this flow that we're talking about, this divine flow that then happens once we get into the flow. Does that make sense? So start with what we have. There's a couple of stories here I want to share with you here. 200 pounds. And by the way, so here's the practical thing, and I just want to follow up a little bit of what Greg said. There's a practical part too, and I have a minute here. And it's not, because this principle not only works for individuals, it works for communities. And one thing I realize that maybe some people don't see because I'm here all the time, is what Unity of Bellingham is for the greater community. I was here, most nights last week at different meetings with the multi-faith group for climate justice. And at the same time, there's a jazz concert gone over here. And that morning, there was a spiritual discussions class with Jonathan. And then Tuesday, there's the senior group that plays cards here. And then Tuesday night, there was a recovery group that was here. And then Wednesday night, there was a prayer service was here. At the same time, Reiki was doing Reiki healing treatments over there, and a Dharma recovery group was meeting upstairs. This is the us, the we space. This is what we have and what we've been sending out. We, all of us. And this is the kind of new energies we're receiving. And then Friday night, this Friday there's going to be, you're doing the art, power art. Which power is it this month? Life. So come if you want. We're doing the 12 powers once a month. We're doing an art class led by Malin. This month is on life. And then some Fridays there's movies, and some Fridays Saturdays are for special events. Sundays we're here all week long. I mean, Jene, bless her, is like, I got to find a time for Michael to come in and clean the church, but there's so much happening here all the time that it's like you got to come at 2 a.m. to find a time to come in here and clean it. This gift of Unity of Bellingham, this gift to the greater community, not only, to each other, but this flow into the greater, everybody's looking, hello? This is God speaking. So it's true of individuals and it's true of all. So this pledge card, why it helps, is it gives an idea just simply for budgeting. Because all these things that happen for us, with us, through us, as the Christ expressing, not only here, but the prayer energy, the lightness energy, the healing energy, the transformative love energy is radiating like Teilhard. It's a radial energy. It starts here. Radial, Teilhard, we talked about Teilhard de Chardin, this great mystic that said the love energy, we don't stand there and wait for God, love me and come this way. It's like, I am the love of the divine. I need to crank it up and allow that radial energy to come in and is through me, through the divine, into the world, showing up as me, as us, as all of us, sending out that energy of love, that transformative love into our community, into Whatcom County, into Bellingham, into the world. It radiates out. And everything we give and goes out, it's coming at someone else as a receiving, and then we send it out. It's totally up to us how much we want to crank up the abundance flow of our community, of our personal lives and our community. It's up to us. I mean, and remember the law? We're not creating abundance. The law is the abundance is already there. The flow is already there. Our job is just to align with it. Just like creating a plane to go with creating boats to follow buoyancy. We create programs and systems to follow the law of circulation, the law of circulating love, the law of transforming this love energy throughout our lives, our individual lives, our community lives. Anyhow, That's why this is so much fun. So feel free to plug in and just let us know. I'm going to commit. Here's how much, money-wise. There's a thing in the tradition, in the Western tradition, about 10%. People give 10. That's the word tithe, what it means. Metaphysically, 10 means the perfect balance. The male-female balance. You might even think of a yin-yang sign, right? A 10, when you think of the number 10, it's this perfect balance. It's this perfect harmony. It's this perfect, you see the balance? Do you see that yin-yang in there? The full amount, the right amount. So many people say, well, okay, if 10 metaphysically, symbolically means the full amount, for me, how much is that? Many people say, well, start with 10%, see where that gets you. What's interesting is I looked up the statistic, so I'm making up the numbers. It's like this. Somewhere 18, 19% of people who are involved in organizations actually do 10%. 10% of what? Their total income after taxes, after shopping, after, what. It's a matter of consciousness. It's not a rule book. It's a way of getting into the flow consciously. And of the people, say it's something like just under 20% of the people choose, well, I'll really push. This is self-reporting. We ask people, do you do 10%? About 20% say yeah. Of those 20% that do give 10%, more than 90 do more than 10. More than 90 do more than 10. Why? Because they go, whoa, this really works. Here I am. This is what I have. I send it out. And this is about money, yes. Also about time. Also about art. If there's any place in our life where we hear ourselves say, just check yourself. I don't have enough of, fill in the blank. That's the thing we need to go give more of. But I just said I don't have enough of time. Does it feel like I just don't have enough time? My suggestion is you find a way to volunteer. I just don't have enough money. My suggestion is we find a way to donate. I just don't have enough talent. My suggestion is jump in and find a way of stretching ourselves into those new possibilities of what we want to feel like we don't have enough of. Whatever we don't have enough of, that's a sign. It's going like, look at this. And it's time to practice the law. Or you could say, I don't have time. I can't volunteer. I don't have enough time. I got to keep all my time because I don't have enough time. You'll find it'll feel a lot better and things start moving. We go, oh, how about that? Wait, how do I have more time? I just didn't have enough. Now I'm going volunteering somewhere. Oh, and it's fun. And it's not always one-on-one. It's sometimes like, I don't have enough time. I give time. Did I get more time? No, I got more friends. I went and volunteered, and then I met these people. And now I have new projects. And that person does this art. I don't have enough time for art, but I just met this person, my volunteer, and we're doing this art project. And now, and then I met this, and now I wanted, and the flow, the circuit, the affluence begins. 2 readings. The first one is from the Tao. Tao Te Ching, Te Tzu. It's from the 81st verse. It's the last one. It says, the sage does not hoard. The more they do for others, the more they have. The more they thereby give to others, the greater their abundance. And then this is a quote from Jesus of Nazareth, Matthew 7:12. So here's a simple rule of thumb guide for behavior. Ask yourself this: what do you want people to do for you? And then grab the initiative, and you do it for them. Wait, what do I want people to do for me? Oh, maybe grab the initiative, start with me, start with what I have, do it for them. If you add up God's law and all the prophets, add up all God's law and all the prophets, this is what you get. The golden rule. What do you want done for you? What do I have? I want this done for me. Well, what do I have? I do it for others, and lo and behold, here it comes. This law, it always works. It always works. Okay, blessings.